Hi, how's it going?
Hey,
Hi,
hey,
What's been going on today? How are you doing?
good. How are you?
talking, doing
Good,
great.
good.
Got
Yeah.
my puppy right here.
Yeah, you both seem to have such an incredible time at the screening at the cocktail party. What was that like for you?
It was so much fun. It
It
was
was so much
such an
fun.
experience.
So what was the highlight? What was it like to by the way, you were both killing it in terms of your look, just being there, having fun with it. What was the highlight for you?
I'm gonna have to say when Craig pulled me up to rap, I messed up the lyrics, but it was still fun.
It was amazing. Yeah, well, one of mine was I got to watch Craig and his brother like completely tear that stage up.
Mhm.
But then I rapped a Biggie song too, but I've never seen anybody. I didn't know you could rap, Wyatt. I didn't know that.
So how does that tie in with the show? Because I know you both have very, very, very many skills, but only get to show off of I think a few of them on the show. But from what you do, it's great. It's really a cool show and really cool to see both of you in it doing your thing. So, what's it like to be in a show like this?
It's honestly like so breathtaking. It's an honor just to be able to work with Luke and Dan and Craig Robinson, and just to be able to share a scene with them or just have a genuine conversation with Luke or Dan. And it's just so fun and like I can't. It's a dream come true.
Very nice, very nice. Why? What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, this might be really cheesy for me to say, but honestly, it felt like a dream come true. Well, it put me in a state of awe almost. And Craig was talking about whenever we were down in New Orleans and we were talking, and he was saying like, yeah, when he's on set, it kind of feels like a dream. Like once you go back home, you remember everything, but it feels like you just kind of dreamt it all. And now that I'm back home, it really does feel like you've just dreamt it all.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, it was a blast working and filming with everybody. I was so fortunate enough that I got to meet these people and work with them and share scenes with them. And like now it's permanently on television.
Yeah. Almost ready to drop all 8 episodes.
Right.
I've seen seven. What I really like too is touching on what you're saying is that you got to film it on location, and you really take advantage of New Orleans. It really looks and feels like an incredible experience. Haunted too, from what I hear. What's it
Being
like
in
to
those
shoot there?
swamps. Being in those
Yeah.
swamps was so much fun. We'd have these snake wranglers on set because obviously we have the real snakes that were, for camera B shots and stuff like that. And then we had like the fake snakes, which were for the up close stuff. But we had real snake wranglers on set just because when you're filming in the swamps, you don't know what kind of wild animals are going to be out there. And so it was really interesting, specifically on the last day, to see these snake wranglers just walking around pulling snakes out of their hoodie pockets and I'm like, that's ridiculous. That's so cool. And I learned so many cool facts about snakes that it was a really fun time.
So I got to ask a lot of your co-stars about this, but who do you think would be the best snake snake wrangler? Snake who would be the best at catching the snakes, do you think? Did you learn a lot about that?
Ooh, a little bit. Like you want to, if you're ever gonna do something like that, which obviously you shouldn't unless you're a trained professional, you want to grab them kind of behind the neck just to make
Mm.
sure like they don't have range to bite you or whatever stuff like that. Are you talking more so to elaborate on this question,
Sure.
character wise or real life?
Well, that's interesting because, when I'm watching you, and you look very different now, when I'm watching you in the show, it seems like maybe, your family has a bit of a head start in the snake catching department. But I don't know. Maybe, what do you think? Who's whose character do you think was most like their real life person in terms of how snake oriented they were?
Ooh, um,
I
I'd hate to say probably Corby. I'm originally from, southeast North Carolina, and so I've been around a ton of wild snakes before. When you're walking out in the woods, that's just something you see. They say, like, when you're in the middle of the summer, because we live on 13 acres in North Carolina, you got to watch your step. Don't step on a snake, copperhead, stuff like that. So I feel like most like their character was probably me to Corby. The best character to catch snakes, though, Brock, maybe. Brock, he likes to think he's the best.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he really gets into that mindset.
Yeah.
So I've got to ask you both, because I've seen you in other projects and some really interesting ones, but this show has a lot going on. We've talked about the snake element, but there's a lot you can read into it. Jet, you got some incredible lines on the show too, that you really have some moments that I just think are so fantastic. So for both of you, what did you like most about sort of subject matter for this show? What was something about the show that really appealed to you?
Well, I love the diversity of the show. Not only, like, obviously there's diversity in races and culture. Like, hello, she's Australian. Like, Claudia's Australian. But and like the race aspect, like there's several races involved, and it's not just a plain, like, just one, or like everybody and then there's just one oddball. But it's very inclusive in all races, but especially the deaf community. That was really like that's one of the most things I was really excited about the show. Is like, that's amazing. And I got to learn sign language, which is really, really great for me, because it's a second language. I mean, if you can take your time to learn Spanish, you can take your time to learn sign language.
I was going to ask you about that. Thank you for mentioning it too, by the way. That's so key on the show. So curious about one thing, because soon everybody's going to be streaming, everybody's going to be watching Killing It. I got to know, for both of you, what you've enjoyed watching recently.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Okay. I'm a really big animated comedy type of guy. And I know that this has been out for a long time, but Futurama is my jam, and I've been getting right back into it because they just announced that they've picked it back up. Yeah. So that's what I've been watching recently.
Well, I mean, as in, like, on kids shows, like, my favorite, like, animated kids show that I watch is, like, Loud House. But, like, my favorite, like, one of my shows I've just been watching is The Office. I mean, it's one of my favorite shows. It's hilarious.
Yeah, you got to almost live it a little bit. Had a bit of an office reunion going on. That must have been really amazing. I just wanted to say to both of you that you're so fantastic on this show. And, growing up in the industry, getting to do a show like this, you both seem so grounded and really cool. So it was awesome getting to speak with both of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming and spending this time.